Pittsburgh. It belonged to Clemson. Great defense and one of the ACC's best in the circle. Sierra Manis got the job done to give them a 1-0 lead in the series. And then one of the best offenses in the country, Virginia Tech, figured things out. They had 7 hits in game 1, but just 1 extra base hit. They fixed that in game 2. It was a run rule 9-1 in just 5 innings. You are watching ACC softball presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Packed house at Tech Softball Park tonight for a rubber match on Easter weekend between Virginia Tech and Clemson. The Tigers trying to climb above 500 in the ACC. Virginia Tech looking for their 9th conference win. Alongside Jenny Dalton-Hill, I am Chuck E. Kemp. Virginia Tech's offense looked a little more like itself in game 2. That's what we've come to expect from them.
Yeah, bats are rolling for the Hokies this year, but they were quieted by Clemson in game 1, and that's what led to that big win for Clemson.
Just the 1 extra base hit in game 1, but they found those in game 2, especially the long ball that really got them going.
Yeah, it comes down to the Hokie bats, and Michelle Chatfield has had a slow start to the year in the power department, but in game 2 of this series had a big 3-run shot to pad the lead and help secure Virginia Tech's 15th run rule win of the season. Kylie Aldridge is the toughest player to strike out in the ACC. She started the 4-run rally at the end of game 2 in this series, her 4th round tripper, and is 4 for 5 in this series.
On the other side for Clemson, Sarah Breaux on a 3-run shot has scored 3 of their 5 runs in this series.
Yeah, game 1 of the series shocked the Hokie faithful because Clemson pitchers tossed a gem and Sarah Breaux took a 2-0 pitch deep over the left field wall. That 3-run bomb was just her 2nd of the season, but it got this series all knotted up.
Well, and she did that off of Emma Mazzarone, the junior from Pleasant Garden, North Carolina, who in that first game went the distance, 7 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. She is one of their primary starters on what is a true staff for Pete Demore this year.
Yeah, she's been a dominant ace most of her career and now takes the top spot for the Hokies.
She delivers strike 1 on a pitch on the outside corner to the center fielder, Jamison Brockenbrough for Clemson. Brockenbrough, a senior from Locust Grove, Georgia. 2nd year at Clemson, spent her first 2 seasons at Tennessee and swings through that pitch for strike 2.
When she's throwing with a ton of velo to Brockenbrough, who is that leader at the top of the lineup for Clemson. She hit in the 9 spot last year, but this year with short game and power is a great leadoff for Clemson.
Has a pair of hits in the series so far. That's ball 1 outside. This is a Clemson offense that looks a lot different this year after losing 3 of their top 4 bats from a season ago. That includes a couple 400-plus hitters in Alex Brown and Maddie Moore. So not overly surprising to see a little bit of a drop-off this year.
Well, and when it comes to power, you also had average in those 2 hitters, with Alex Brown leading things off at the top of the lineup, Maddie Moore with a ton of RBI potential. So losing those 2 players for Clemson, those were big shoes that they had to fill this season.
Maddie Moore, 17 home runs, 71 RBIs last year as Mazzarone spins 1 outside for ball 2.
And getting ahead of hitters seems to be the goal for both of these pitching staffs. It's when they fall behind early that they leave the ball big, and that's when the ball has found its way leaving the yard.
That game 1 loss for Virginia Tech snapped a 9-game win streak for the Hokies. 3-2 count.
Really mature at bat by Brockenbrough to be able to fall down 0-2, take it all the way back to a full count. This is the kind of demeanor you need in a leadoff hitter that doesn't panic when she falls behind.
She has 2 of Clemson's 7 hits, but goes down on strikes. The lefty-lefty matchup belongs to Mazzarone.
Well, and that pitch down and away is where Mazzarone got a couple of her strikeouts the other night. She uses that drop ball down and away from the lefty hitter, has nice glove side run on that pitch. Hard to catch up to for Brockenbrough.
Strike 1 to Kylie Chanel, the shortstop. Inside ball one. Chanel was not on that team that was 60 feet from Oklahoma City a year ago, transferred in from Florida Atlantic where she spent 2 years. We welcome our new audience to Blacksburg, Virginia. Tech Softball Park is packed this evening for a rubber match on this fine Saturday, 75 degrees. Alongside Jenny Dalton-Hill, I'm Chucky Kemp. We thank you for joining us. Virginia Tech got their bats going last night in Game 2 after being shut down by the Clemson ace, Sierra Manis, in Game 1. We will see Manis again tonight for the Tigers, but first their bats trying to put a dent in the scoreboard.
When Mazzarone in the circle throws with a ton of velocity, you can expect to see the ball down in the zone. Does have a confident rise, but will use that glove side run effectively against lefties and righties. And with that changeup improved this year, she's hard to combat.
Foul ball, it's a 3-2 count. She struck out the leadoff batter, Jamison Brockenbrough, and you can see from our vantage point, which is kind of low and directly behind home plate, that movement she gets going away from lefties is pretty lethal.
Well, it's just that glove side run. She's very confident pulling that ball across her body and getting the outside corner, but also the swing and miss off the plate.
3-2 popped up and into the stands. Are you a foul ball catcher in the stands? If it's coming your way, are you reaching?
I'm used to catching it with a glove. If I'm watching Banana Ball, yeah, I've got to catch it because it counts for an out. But here at Tech Ballpark, I'm going to let that go.
Okay. Good to know. There's no protection for me in the booth from an All-American.
You're on your own. On your own.
Chanel draws the walk and sets up a very impressive freshman in the 3-hole, Mac Pavases. We look at the lineup. Taylor Pipkins down in the 9 spot. She also homered in this series for Clemson. Their lone run in Game 2 belonged to Pipkins.
Pipkins was also the ACC tournament MVP, so she comes in with a ton of expectations in this, her sophomore season, so they are going to rely on her to be able to do things in that 9 spot to flip back over to those really potent bats at the top.
Hit just a point under 300 last year. That's off the glove of Mazzarone, which actually probably helps Pavesi. And now it's 2 on with just 1 out.
That was going to be an amazing double play ball up the middle with how the defense was playing. They were pinched up the middle, and because of that, the shortstop Rose was going to be able to pull that one in and maybe take it herself. But with the amount of glove that was on that ball by Mazzarone, it slowed it down enough to make everybody safe.
Big chance for Clemson here in the first frame. Ball 1 low to the cleanup, Macy Cintron, who was the ACC Freshman of the Year a season ago. In some ways, been a frustrating season for her. Only 3 home runs, 11 RBIs after she hit 14 home runs and 51 RBIs as a freshman last year.
And that ball right down Main Street, but coming in with a ton of velo. That's the pitch that Cintron needs to absolutely light up. You cannot let those opportunities pass by early in a count.
Clemson 2 for 10 in the series with runners in scoring position. Cintron fouls it off for strike 2.
And we've seen Cintron have kind of a slow start to this season. She was injured in the fall, had a knee injury, and that slow start has really affected her power numbers, and we haven't seen her in the circle much this year for Clemson either.
One, 2 just stays alive. You said it, hasn't thrown much this year. She was one of just 2 arms that were here last year. 5 of their 7 pitchers this season were not here a year ago.
Yeah, Brooke McCubbin threw 142 innings, Grease Basinger threw 178 and a third innings last year. So most of their pitchers have graduated.
Both of them won 18 games. That's a lot of wins, a lot of experience and leadership in the circle that is missing this year. And yet, Clemson has a top 3 ERA as a staff in the league.
Well, and with Clemson being in just its 7th season, those were pillars of the program that graduated, and so now rebuilding or finding ways to continue to emerge as a powerhouse.
In a lot of ways, the last couple years, it feels like Clemson has started to turn that page to kind of, this is 6-7 years, but there's just so many of those names that we became accustomed to hearing, and now it feels like we are starting to turn that page to the next group. This is a young team, just 2 seniors on it, as Cintron goes down. And they're going to say no, that was a foul ball and hit the ground, so she will stay alive.
But this is a play that can be reviewed. That's why you're going to see head coach Pete Demore come out of the dugout and have a little conversation. So you're looking for, if the ball does get touched by the bat, does it hit the ground? That's a clean grab back behind the dish by Zoe. Oh, but does it fall out of the glove? It does. So I think you're going to see this being the correct call on the field. She does glove it, but it's on the ground before she can secure it.
Yeah, that was a good look from the side angle there. And we've got a veteran crew, Craig Hyde, Smokey Eds, and Scott Mayer on the field for us tonight. Wow.
Wow, didn't even take it to review, just after conversation. Gonna go ahead and ring up Macy Cintron. That's a big out. I'm surprised that John Rittman doesn't come out to say something. It's not on a transfer, but it does touch the ground. And so that actually should be a foul ball and keep that at bat alive.
That is a big out, number 2. It makes me think of football. The ball can touch the ground, but it can't assist you in the catch. That felt like it was an assist there.
That was definitely an assist, but it is very early in this ball game to go to review, but that would have pushed that at bat and one of their big hitters to have another chance.
1-1 count now to Marion Collins, who has swapped spots with Julia Noller in the lineup tonight. So Collins moves up to the 5 spot. And Noller on deck. All 5 of Clemson's runs in the series have been scored with 2 outs. 2-1.
We've seen how glove side run really helps out Mazzarone in the circle. As Collins takes her spot in the box, she's going to need to make sure that she covers that outside corner, because that's exactly where Mazzarone is trying to nibble a corner.
Big swing from Collins through that pitch for strike 2.
But in a 2-1 count, I love that swing. I love that she is swinging big, knowing that the outer half is where Mazzarone is going to try to attack her. So now with 2 strikes, needs to shorten up and put the ball in play.
Marion Collins is their top returning bat from a year ago. Fouls it back. She was 3rd in average at .366 as a true freshman, 16 doubles, 11 home runs. This year, just 5 home runs so far, but leads them with 29 RBIs. Entering the series. 30th pitch of this first inning. Ground ball right side taken care of by Chatfield. And Mazzarone puts up a 0 in the first. The Hokie Bats, one of the best offenses in the country, coming to the dish next.
simple human sense.
This is why you relate to the booth, because you were out tailgating out the right field line.
Wow, you have no street cred if you're going to throw me under the bus this early. Come on. It was a great tailgate out there in right field in the parking lot. Got to run into Virginia Tech great Corey McMillan out there at the tailgate here today.
Last year's ACC Player of the Year. They'd love to have her in this very dangerous lineup even without her. First pitch at the bottom of the first is outside, ball one. This is Sierra Manis, a junior from Woodruff, South Carolina. She leads the ACC in wins, innings pitched, complete games, 4th in ERA. Big-time pickup out of the transfer portal from USC Upstate. Into left field, and that ball tailing, and it will bounce off the wall over Pipkins as Addison Foster cruises into second base.
And with the way that Manis is throwing in the circle right now, she's coming in with some velo that helps you as a hitter not have to gear up too hard. Outside pitch allows that ball to travel. Foster drove that ball hard the other way. It looked like it was going to be right at Taylor Pipkins in left, but over the head, 19th extra base hit of the year, and puts herself in scoring position.
Back-to-back games with a double for Foster. Junior from Lockport, Illinois. Virginia Tech does it better than anybody in the country as far as doubles are concerned. Oh, and that is up and in. You can hear it in the booth. Jordan Lynch is plunked.
And that's one of those pitches when it comes in on inside on you, there's really no way for you to get it out of the way. You've committed to your swing. She did hold up, but wears that one in a tough spot, but it helps out the Hokies.
Nora Abramovich takes the first pitch low for ball one. This lineup, top to bottom, can rake. Lynch on a 9-game hit streak in the 2-hole. She is over at first after walking. They are top 10 in numerous categories, including average, home runs. They lead the country in doubles. They can beat you in so many ways. Already, John Rittman is going to come out of the Clemson dugout to have a conversation with Sierra Manis.
I think this is a really important conversation to calm things down. It's been a pretty adventurous bottom half of the inning quickly with the double to lead things off and then the hit batter. Lynch, while she leads the team in home runs, the next player who has the same amount of home runs is Abramovich, who is at the plate right now. So you've got a ton of firepower sitting in this box, ready to start this game off with another big hit.
Big crowd behind them. That is all about it on this Saturday night in Blacksburg. John Rittman, really it's interesting, between these two programs there have been 3 head coaches. John Rittman is the only one in Clemson history. And then on the other side, Scott Thomas started this Virginia Tech program back in 1996. Took him to the Women's College World Series in 2008 with a pretty talented pitcher by the name of Angela Tincher. And now, of course, Pete Demore in year number 8, trying to make it 2 Women's College World Series in this program's history. And there is another free pass, and this is the danger zone very early for Sierra Manis.
Free passes are the thing that the Hokies love to rack up because what it gives is the opportunity for not just the solo shot. While this team loves to hit the home run, being able to put the ball in play right now gives you a chance to score a bunch of players. They love the double, and a double right now has the potential to put 2 on the board.
Zoe Yeager has 8 home runs, 40 RBIs on the season. She homered in Game 3 at Boston College last weekend. This one would have a little bit more behind it if she could do it with the bases loaded.
I mean, these 3 hitters right in a row, Lynch, Abramovich, and Yeager, combined for 30 home runs on the year.
Popped up, and Manis is going to get a big out number 1 with the bases juiced.
I mean, that right there, that's an important out to be able to come back and go right at Yeager with that pop up to second base. That should build some confidence in the transfer coming over from USC Upstate.
Here's Chatfield. Rips it up the middle. It scores one. They want to try for two. The throw is cut off, and it'll put two more in scoring position with two coming across.
And if that throw had been allowed to come through, I think there was a chance for a really close play at the plate. But right there, textbook hitting. Down the middle, take it right back up the middle. Down in the zone, drive it into the ground, get it past your middle infield. Give yourself a chance to play to run. And that ball coming in from the outfield got gloved up a little bit by the first baseman that was trying to cut it off. And with that, an easy second run came across.
First pitch ball to Kylie Aldridge. Hit her fourth home run yesterday in their Game 2 win. Virginia Tech much better yesterday with runners in scoring position, 4 for 9, as opposed to the 2 for 10 they were in Game 1 of this series. Good spot on the outside corner from Manis, 1-2.
It's going to be important for her to establish that outside corner. Find where that ball is going to be called a strike. That's going to be an important pitch for her to be able to attack these hitters that love to light up the ball that goes over the middle of the plate.
Manis not one that is often rattled. This is ripped, though, to center, and spinning around is Brockenbrough to make the catch. It works as a sac fly for Aldridge, and it's 3-0 Hokies.
And I just talked about ball being left over the middle of the plate, and in the conversation that Manis just had with her catcher, Corey Hicks, she tapped her chest and said, "That's on me." That ball was left right down Main Street, so she is lucky that Aldridge did not take that ball over the center field wall, because that right there was a huge home run ball pitch.
Ball one from Manis to Gabby Mizell. True freshman from Raleigh, North Carolina. Set her high school's record with 31 career home runs. Has 5 here in her freshman season, as this is fouled away for strike one.
And the crazy thing about it, when you look at the way that Manis is attacking these hitters, only one of them out of the 7 hitters she's faced this inning have been started with a strike. So she is not getting ahead, which makes her have to come back over to very hittable parts of the zone.
This is kind of off the handle, it sounded like, and popped up to Collins to end the first. Great start for Virginia Tech, who is 21-1 when they score first. A mountain to climb for Clemson in front of a packed house in Blacksburg. Welcome back to ACC Softball, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Just the start Virginia Tech wanted in this rubber match on Easter weekend. 3-0. The Bats got going to support Emma Mazzarone, who is having an excellent year, and her ACC ranks show that top 5 in some of the biggest categories. Entering this series, she had allowed just 1 earned run in her last 23 innings pitched.
And they found her to be a very trusted starter. She has the most starts on this staff. And as she takes the circle, Coach talks about how she does throw with great velocity. However, her pitches move best when she only throws about 70% of her miles an hour.
Inside ball 2 to Julia Noller, the DP for Clemson, who left 2 on base in that first inning. Slow roller, and it bounces up awkwardly. That's going to allow Noller to reach base. Castine couldn't handle it at second.
And that's an uncharacteristic misplay over there by Castine at second base. She came in here to Virginia Tech to be the starting shortstop, but got hurt about 8 games into her season last year. So that one, little miscue, allows Clemson to have the advantage.
This is a top 30 defense nationally, according to fielding percentage. Corey Hicks takes strike 1, the catcher in the 7 spot, and transfer from Oklahoma.
And this will shock our audience. Oklahoma, another run rule win again today. They're playing Kentucky. I think that was a series sweep for them over UK.
1-1. Hicks out in front. Where's the number for you as far as legitimate national contenders? Just ballpark it for me. I feel like we came into the season very much felt like Texas and Texas Tech were a step ahead, but I think as the year's gone on, maybe we're looking around thinking, okay, this could be really interesting.
Well, because we're seeing so much parity in the sport. Tennessee lost again this weekend in their matchup. When you talk ACC teams, I'm loving Florida State. They are doing what Florida State does. They figure out how they win during the year and now have really found themselves in a rhythm. Talk about Isa Torres at shortstop for them. I mean, ACC teams are in the conversation for sure. But when you talk about the parity, the Texas Tech, the Tennessee, we're seeing those teams lose as teams figure out how to approach them in the box. But these 2 coaches here, Pete DeMore shown there and John Rittman for Clemson, these are programs that want to make it back to OKC and figure out ways to win the next Natty.
Swing and a miss from Hicks. Strikeout number 3 for Mazzarone.
And that pitch down in the zone looks so hittable, but it's got some nice bite. And so with that nice bite, the wiggle takes it below the barrel. She's really doing well in the circle. I love the way that she comes out and just allows the ball to dance. Started out of the zone. Hicks was just way too aggressive.
Strike 1 to Sarah Bro, who had the 3-run shot in their Game 1 victory. That's 3 of their 5 runs scored in the first 2 games of this series. 4-2 winners on Thursday night. 9-1 losers last night in just 5 innings.
And I think that's where Mazzarone and Manis are different right now. Manis for Clemson is starting a lot of her at-bats with balls, where Mazzarone is attacking early, and Mazzarone continues to get the advantage against these players in the box. And that changeup came into play in that last pitch.
0-2 runs outside. Talking about national contenders, Virginia Tech has to feel pretty darn good right now. 32-5 on the season, one of the best offenses in the country, and really this pitching staff, and when we say staff, we mean staff, the way this is built this year, has a top 20 ERA in the country. It's a little bit different. You know, they returned 3 of their 4 arms from a year ago. Kleiman was maybe the biggest returner, led their team with a 2.45 ERA last year, 3rd most innings, but there's no Emma Lemley ready to run out of the bullpen tonight. And that is somebody they've relied on a long time. Bro to left center field, a no-doubter. Sarah Bro has found it this weekend. Her second and third home runs of the season for the true freshman.
When you put a big hitter down in the bottom of the lineup, I think at times a pitcher feels like maybe this is a hitter that I don't have to worry too much about, but already in this series, Bro has left the yard, and here another pitch left waist high, middle of the plate. See you later. I mean, that is a pitch right in the wheelhouse for a big hitter like Bro. For the second time in the series, she leaves the park.
So big for Clemson to see a power surge. They only have hit, entering the weekend, it only hit 28 home runs on the year. This team that hit 85 a season ago. Their runs per game are down a full 2. I love all these traditions, these home run traditions.
Would you wear the belt, Chucky?
All of it, yeah.
The chain,
look, Jenny,
the belt.
We're entertainers here, okay?
Well, maybe you are. I would not be wearing that belt.
You know, for somebody who's not really hit home runs in their life either, I think I'm doing a lot of things that maybe would be frowned upon.
No, but you got to own it. It's all about the hype, right? Get the dugout going, and you're right. They haven't hit a ton of home runs this year. That's just the 31st home run of the season for Clemson. 32nd home run of the season for Clemson.
Big response in the top of the second. Still just one away. Nobody on, though, for Taylor Pipkins, the left fielder. (3-0) and taking all the way. You have the green light on 3-0.
No, I don't think many hitters should have the green light on 3-0. There's only one right now. She's a freshman at Oklahoma that I think gets the 3-0 green light for me.
Up and in, ball 4.
Well, that home run rattled Mazzarone out there in the circle. You could see she was visibly upset by allowing that ball to sit middle of the plate against Sarah Bro. And you never want to follow up a home run by giving up a walk. And I think that's why you'll see the visit to the circle here to have a little conversation with Mazzarone.
Trying to slow things down in the top of the second. This excellent Clemson response. We got a couple softball series finales next Sunday. 12th ranked Virginia Tech taking on rival Virginia, who come in ranked 17th in the next chapter of the Commonwealth Clash at 4 Eastern. And then at 6 Eastern, NC State hosts Cal in Raleigh. Both games right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Some fun ones today.
Well, in Virginia hosting the ACC Championship this year, this is the best season I've seen under head coach Joanna Harden. They're really making a big push this year with a couple of seniors leading the way.
We saw Florida State survive Notre Dame's hot start in Tallahassee today. The Seminoles coming from behind and winning. Lonnie Alameda's never been phased in her life. She would never know they could be down 20, and she would act the same as if they were up 20.
Well, to be able to figure out how to pitch your staff and mix your lineup, you're right. They figure it out at the beginning of a year. And as the year goes on, they figure out the pieces of the puzzle. And then at the end of the season, they seem to always be able to just put together just solid performances in the circle defensively and then at the plate.
Top of the order for Clemson here. Jamison Brockenbrough into center field. Ran on by Foster for out number 2. The fact that Clemson has gotten 6 off of Mazzarone in her 2 outings against them is really impressive and a positive sign for this Clemson Tigers lineup. Last 2 ACC weekends, Mazzarone has allowed 1 run in 18 innings pitched, and it was an unearned run.
No, Mazzarone has just missed her spot against a hitter who was ready. A good hitter, their job is to hit a mistake. And so far, Sarah Bro has been able to figure it out.
Ooh, that is a strike, as painful as they come. Chanel hit by the pitch on a big swing.
Yeah, that's a difficult one because she committed so early to swing and it rode in on her leg. So even though it hit right on the thigh, because of the swing, she has to stay in the box and continue the AB.
Pipkins probably could have taken second there. I'm not sure if maybe they thought that was a foul ball. This is in foul territory up against the netting almost, and the catch is made. Clemson claps back.
Off a big swing by Sarah Bro. Third home run of the year comes at a great spot as they now just sit 1 run away. Sierra Manis had the complete game win for Clemson, scattering 7 hits in that game. And when you look at the way she was able to do it, she just scattered a ton of ground balls on the infield. Just that one red dot out there in left center was the only extra base hit of the night. So by being able to keep the ball on the infield, her defense was able to absolutely back her up. And then the big hit by Sarah Bro is the difference in that ball game.
Nice play in foul territory by the first baseman, Pavesi. And there is a ton of wind here, so anything in the air, and feels like probably the softer it's hit, the tougher play it is. That's out number 1.
We were talking to Coach Pete Demore about a ball that was hit in game 1. He said, I think that ball should have cleared the fence, but the wind kept the ball in the ballpark. And so even a ball that looks like it's going to go foul right now, you have to track as a defender to make, because it may stay in the ballpark, like that ball to Pavesi right there. Tracked it all the way and was able to get the foul ball out.
And that's the man you trust with what a long ball looks like in this park, because this team's done a lot of that, with closing in on 70 as a team this year. Also doubles machines, but they've got one of your favorite days that they have in the offseason, in the build-up to the year. Pete Demore talks about how hard they train in the indoor and really challenge these hitters. And then on Fridays, they come out here for Bomb Fridays.
They train all week inside, and then on Fridays, he gives them feel-good BP. And that feel-good BP is definitely not what Manis is throwing right now. She is absolutely figuring out how to handle these hitters. She did such a good job the other night for the complete game 4-2 win over Virginia Tech. But now ball down in the zone, that seemed to be the pitch that she continued to use. Only able to get 1 strikeout in that 4-2 win, but kept the ball down and forced a lot of ground balls for the defense.
Ball 1 outside to Addison Foster, who doubled and scored last inning for Virginia Tech. 2 for 6 in the series at the plate. Ground ball up the middle, another base hit for Foster.
Impressive day at the plate for Foster. Double in her first AB. Now coming in with a nice little ground ball right back up the middle. That's what you're looking for in a leadoff hitter, the one that sits at the top of the lineup. You hope that the bottom of the lineup, Castine and Rose, can come through with something to put themselves on, but they were handled easily. Foster doing her job, though, in the one spot.
Seeing if they can get it going with 2 outs at the top of the order. This is hit into left field and deep and gone. Jordan Lynch with a 2-run shot, her 12th of the season that leads the team.
I mean, Jordan Lynch had double-digit home runs last year. The thing that she has done this year to get better is to increase her batting average by over 100 points. I mean, this is a ball down and away that she stays behind, drives the other way. Big, huge shot. Now puts her in sole possession of most home runs on the team with 12. She also leads the team in extra base hits.
Virginia Tech 7th in the nation with 67 home runs as a team. Jordan Lynch, just a sophomore. She's hitting over 500 in ACC play now with 5 home runs. Had a 7-game multi-hit streak entering this series. A 7-game multi-hit streak, which she actually extended in game 1 and then had it snapped with just 1 hit in game 2.
I mean, I think we started talking about Bomb Friday at just the right time. It's almost like Lynch was listening. And Abramovich comes away with the exact same thing that Foster did. Not trying to do too much, busting a ball right back up the middle, past the middle infield. That's what good hitting teams do. They pass the bat. So here at the top of the lineup, you can see Pete Demore is just so happy with the way that his hitters are showing up. But don't expect big smiles until the end of the game from Coach Pete Demore. But when you think about the way that this Virginia Tech team has figured out how to pass the bat, it's so impressive. Those Bomb Fridays, they hit inside during the week, work on different skills and different approaches, and then get that feel-good BP on Fridays to be able to come out and see if they can hit. The goal is 100 home runs in an hour. He said the record is 135 in an hour. He said when they started Bomb Fridays, though, with this team this season, they only came out hitting 53. So they had some work to do, he said, but that's changed. But this season, look at that record when they hit a home run.
How's your swing mechanics if he handed you a bat on Bomb Friday?
Mechanics good, execution not so hot.
I figured you would just come out, swinging out of your shoes, no mechanics.
Yeah,
throw it out the window.
As soon as you get to hip replacements, the swing changes. And so I'm going to say the ball's not going to leave the yard unless the wind's blowing out severely on that Bomb Friday.
Off the knob of the end of the bat, I should say, from Yeager. And Manis retires her. 2 more in the second for the Hokies. 5-2, the long ball from Jordan Lynch. Getting it done. We'll have John Rittman on the other side. Welcome back to ACC Softball, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Clemson trailing 5-2. We are joined by their head coach, John Rittman. Coach, obviously not the start Sierra Manis had hoped for so far, but she's had such an excellent season. What is it about her that's allowed her to make that jump to the ACC so successfully?
Oh, she's just a hard worker, very competitive. You know, she's got some great pitches. She's leaving some up today. This is day 2 against a very powerful offense. So she's got to get on top of her drop a little bit more, get the ball down, and continue to throw her changeup. We got to play defense behind her, of course, but she is just a wonderful teammate, wonderful competitor. Just love having her a part of our program.
Well, transfers are fun, but you've also got a freshman right now who's showing up in a big way for you. I mean, Sarah Bro, her 3rd home run of the year. What is she doing so well as a freshman right now?
Well, you know, I think there's a little bit of a learning curve your freshman year, and we played an awfully tough schedule, and I think she's just made some adjustments, and she's getting comfortable. She's been a very productive hitter for us all year. We know she has power. It just didn't show up early in the season, but it's starting to show up now. She's got 2 home runs this weekend, and love her approach, love the way she's working through her at-bats, and hopefully we get a few more here.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
7th year at Clemson for John Rittman. He was named the head coach in 2017. They did not play a game until 2020. Of course, that was the shortened season, so of all the uniqueness that would have been his tenure at Clemson, it was even more unique because the COVID year that got cut short was his first year as their head coach.
Right, and so with the start, it's almost like they had to start that giddy up again the following season in 2021, but he has taken them to the postseason every year since being here at Clemson.
18 years as a head coach at Stanford. Couple Women's College World Series appearances in 01 and 04 for the Cardinal. They've been to the postseason every year since he started this program. They've been to Supers 3 times. When you think of the history of the sport, which was made last year by Texas winning, that very nearly wasn't, because Clemson almost did it, and you were at that Super Regional, but Clemson won game 1. They lose game 2 in extras. They lose the final game by a run. They were so close to making it to OKC for the first time.
And Clemson has had the luck of the draw, the bad luck of the draw. Previous to that, they went to the Super Regional at Oklahoma, who was the eventual national champion last year, 60 feet away from scoring to get them to OKC, and came up just 60 feet short against the eventual national champion.
Foul back. This is Mac Pavesi, the freshman first baseman from Canton, Georgia. John Rittman said didn't necessarily expect her to lead the offense, but she had a really good fall and really bought into their hitting approach that they sold her. Goes down on strikes this time to Mazzarone.
Well, and it's so important for Mazzarone to be able to establish that off speed. We've seen her use it more here later in these at bats, but because the velocity has been hit and struck well. So being able to disrupt the timing of these hitters is so important.
Pavesi's 4th strikeout of the weekend.
Well, and you talked about her being a freshman. That's one of the pieces of the game that is elevated when you come to Division I softball, especially in a Power 4 conference. You're going to face really good changeups and speed changes, and you have to combat them with velocity as well.
2-0 now to Macy Cintron. Not just the ACC Freshman of the Year last year, first team All-ACC as well. 292 average, 14 home runs, 51 RBIs, had 8 wins in the circle with a sub-2.3 ERA in 62 innings. She was their 3rd most used arm this year, so you expected her to kind of take the reins of this pitching staff.
I really expected to see her in the circle more, but we've seen her very limited so far this season, and I think it came down to that knee injury in the fall.
She thought she was going to take first. The crowd happy to see her have to come back to the box in this 3-1 count.
Yeah, all the umpires sitting in the stands are happy, but I think that was a pretty good pitch.
Foul ball, 3-2.
Well, and that pitch prior is the one that sets up that swing, because with the ball down in the zone getting called, you cannot leave it up to the home plate umpire. So now figuring out how to combat Mazzarone as the count now sits full.
Ground ball. Nice job by Rose to go back and make the play for out number 2.
Just so impressed with the way that Rose has continued to mature at the shortstop position. She was thrown into that spot her freshman year when Rachel Castine got hurt and had a lot of bumpy roads to cross to get to where she is now, but she is now just a solid force in that shortstop position.
And she's having a career year offensively. Chance to make another play. Tough bounce, stayed low, and she takes care of it. A strikeout and back-to-back plays by Annika Rose as Virginia Tech settles in with a 0 in the 3rd. They've got a good view of everything going on across the country and in the ACC today. Virginia Tech, bottom of the 3rd. Hokie Bats doing what we kind of expect from them, and it's a tough spot for Clemson. They had a really good game 1 and held these Bats in check, but now trailing on the road, packed house at Tech Softball Park. Manis needs some quick outs, and that is one of them to retire Chatfield.
And swinging early and being aggressive early can sometimes pay off, but we have not seen Sierra Manis start at bats with a lot of strikes. And so swinging early right now, not necessarily how I think Virginia Tech should be attacking, knowing that Manis has not been consistently throwing that first pitch in a good location.
Say she did go around. That inside pitch to Kylie Aldridge ends up being strike 1. Aldridge having a great series. Couple RBIs, 4 for 5. Home run, sac fly earlier in this game on a line shot to the center fielder Brockenbrough. Bounces that pitch in, 2-1.
Well, and Aldridge only has 2 strikeouts on the year. Because of that, she is one of the toughest players in the ACC to strike out. She puts the ball in play at a high clip. And you're right, she squared up that last one deep to center.
Well, this isn't just a contact hitter either that's only struck out twice. She's got 17 extra base hits on the year, so she can hit for power. And 7 home runs a year ago, had a career year offensively last season, but has kept it rolling this year. That is off the end of the bat, though. Slow roller to second base. Collins handles it, 2 outs. Lacrosse next Saturday right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Number 11 Clemson women hosting number 18 Duke at noon Eastern. And then at 5, the second-ranked North Carolina men taking on number 4 Notre Dame in South Bend. A couple good ones. Notre Dame is number 4 because Virginia beat them last weekend. Virginia turned around today and upset Duke, or beat Duke. That's back-to-back top 10 wins for the Virginia men as a lightning-quick third inning for Sierra Manis. 3 ground balls to retire the side in order for the first time. Jenny, we'll talk to you when we come back. Top of the 4th, Virginia Tech leads Clemson 5-2. Packed house here in Blacksburg tonight. We're joined by the 8th-year head coach Pete Demore for Virginia Tech. Coach, second time facing Sierra Manis this weekend. What were some of the talking points with this lineup, seeing her for the second time?
Just be selective. See the ball up. She's a good drop ball pitcher and try to get the ball in the air, and I think we're doing that pretty well.
Well, Mazzarone, we don't see a lot of complete games anymore in our game, and you've got some really good pitchers. When it comes to a game 3, what's your approach in the circle?
Just see how well she's throwing. You know, keep them off the board and have everybody ready at my becking call.
Thank you, Coach. Good
yeah,
luck.
No gobble gobble. Jenny, just don't say Vatek.
Okay, got it.
Good.
Got it.
All right, thank you. Gobble gobble.
Yeah, you've got to be aware of of how to say the teams that you're playing. I know that is a huge cardinal sin. You do not say Vatek here for the Hokies.
Is that your veteran advice to a young broadcaster? Just know the teams that are playing.
Well, I think the thing that's hard is sometimes people will tell you what not to do right before you go on air. Well, then that's all that sits in your head. And that's also one of the things that happens in young coaches. Coaches will tell a batter, hey, don't swing at the rise. Well, then that's the first thing you do as a hitter, unfortunately, because that's the last message that you got. So being able to deliver the message in a positive way is really important. So instead of saying don't swing at the rise, you should say let's see it down, or let's make sure the ball's at the bottom of the zone, so that that's what the hitter is focused on, is what you want them to execute rather than what not to say.
I like that. You didn't just say don't say this. You gave us the solution. That's the veteran in you right there. Ground ball handled at second for out number 1.
And still some little hiccups over there at second base. You wonder what's going on with Castine, such a solid defender, and right now just maybe getting some late pickups or not being aggressive enough forward to be able to pick her hot. Very veteran second baseman out there in Castine.
Strike 1, you do the pop of the mitt to Corey Hicks. Hicks has been one of the best power options for Clemson this year with the 7 home runs. This is off the end of the bat and scooped up at shortstop. Nice play by Rose.
And that's the difference of Rose now being out there at shortstop as a junior. Freshman year, that ball would have eaten her up because she wouldn't have been able to commit to come forward to pick that short hop. That one step is the difference in why that play is an out and not recorded as an error. So the maturity of Rose showing on that one.
A good location on the first pitch strike, but she has delivered to 10 of 17 batters.
But this is a batter that Mazzarone knows she can't miss against. She missed in Bro's last at bat, left it right in the middle of where a power hitter loves to get it, and she took the ball out of the park. So that's the only runs on the board for Clemson. She knows this is a dangerous hitter.
Bounces that in, ball 2. Mazzarone has retired 7 straight. The last 4 have all been via the ground ball. This is ripped into center field, though, luckily right at Addison Foster for Mazzarone. 8 straight retired for the junior lefty from Pleasant Garden, North Carolina. Next week, the big 3-game series between number 7 Florida State and number 3 Georgia Tech. Thursday and Friday night's games are right here on ACC Network. The series finale Saturday afternoon on ACC Network Extra. All those games also available on the ESPN app in that top 10 matchup.
Well, and those first 2 games are already sold out, so you're going to need to watch on TV because you're not going to be able to get in there. Georgia Tech was selected as the number 1 preseason in the coaches poll. So it's a pretty critical series for seeding implications for those 2 teams.
It's that time of year. We've got a great crowd tonight, and what better place to be than at the ballpark? Another slow roller out to second. Collins handles it, and that is 5 straight retired on the ground for Manis after she went 1, 2, 3 in the 3rd.
Well, it's a ton of ground balls. You're not seeing the ball in the air. Not many hitters right now have been able to elevate against Manis as she continues to just throw the ball down in the zone and create those ground ball opportunities for her defense.
Oh, man, left center field and gone. That is crushed by Annika Rose. Her first home run of the season.
Bring it home, Annika Rose. This is a hitter that when we talked to Pete Demore about, he said, she is not in the lineup because I need her to hit bombs. She is in the lineup to play a solid shortstop, and whatever she can bring to us in the 9 spot, I just want her to turn the lineup over. Well, look at this. First home run of the year for Rose. He may not need home runs, but I don't think he's going to be too sad about that big hit for his number 9 hitter. Bomb Friday is now paying off for Rose.
Something about that 4th inning for Virginia Tech. They have outscored their opponents 54-8 in this frame this year. Ground ball left side handled by Chanel for the 2nd out.
Oh, and look at this. The way that Manis continues to just fill the bottom of the zone, it's when our drop ball gets away from you against hitters that train to hit the ball out of this ballpark, that's when you get into trouble. So as a drop ball pitcher, if you are able to tunnel a changeup, that is a more effective pitch. But missing a drop ball, that's when you're going to see some sore necks as you watch it leave the yard.
It was the first time Manis had retired one of the top 3 hitters in this order, Foster, Lynch, and Abramovich. Had 4 hits and a couple free passes in their first 6 times up. Jordan Lynch hit a 2-run home run back in the 2nd. Just thinking before that home run after the first out that we had 7 combined runs in the first 2 frames and we're a couple outs away from zeros in the 3rd and 4th. These 2 pitchers had retired 13 straight combined.
It's just so important to make sure that you miss in unhittable locations. When you miss middle, this kind of offense for Virginia Tech is going to make you pay.
Virginia Tech entered the weekend 19th in the RPI. They're looking to host for the first time since 2022. They hosted Supers that year as well. It was the year Emma Lemley was a freshman taking the nation by storm. They've had some tough trips. There is Emma Lemley, who is on staff this year. She's still a pro. You'll see her this summer in the AUSL with the Carolina Blaze. She knows where the camera is. Popped up, tough spot, what a grab! Chanel going back into left field, and even the home crowd will give her a round of applause for that play.
That right there was amazing. The transfer coming in from FAU, Chanel at shortstop, perfect drop step, retreats perfectly. Back to it. Even the Hokie crowd cheers her on that. Amazing web gem.
Want to mess around with this OU.
Stanford firmly in control.
Huge weekend for Florida State.
It is gone!
She slams it into the ground.
How about that? Next weekend is absolutely loaded. In conference, out of conference with that LSU-Arizona matchup. Getting exciting, Jenny. We are creeping toward the postseason. We were talking to Pete DeMore before the game, Virginia Tech's head coach, about how it's hard to believe, but the season is winding down. There's just a few weeks left.
And when you think about how few games Virginia Tech has played here at home, I mean, this is just the second weekend that they've been able to play on their own dirt. So for them, pretty cool to be at home with their crowd.
Even better when your crowd shows out like they did tonight. Look at this place. Beautiful. It's 75 degrees at first pitch. It's dropped a little bit since then, but couldn't ask for much better weather.
No, sit out on the berm and enjoy the game beyond the fence, catch a couple home runs. It is a beautiful night here in Blacksburg.
1-2 count, 9-1-2 due up for Clemson here in the fifth. This is lifted to left field. And at the wall, it's gone. That's the 9-spot Taylor Pipkins with her second home run of the weekend. And just like Bro, she entered the weekend with 1. She now has 3 on the season.
I mean, this is a part of the lineup that typically you just want to get on. It's the hitter that has wheels, that doesn't clog the bases for the top of the lineup. And now we're seeing Pipkins show up in a huge way. Had not been an everyday starter coming into ACC play, but has established herself with power and average as she now kind of takes over that left field spot in the everyday lineup.
She's 3 for 6 this weekend, 3 RBIs.
And when you get an opportunity, that's exactly what you have to do. Establish yourself by hitting well to keep your name being written on the lineup.
Now the bunt, oh my goodness, that is sickening. What a ridiculous bunt into foul territory and spinning back in play.
I mean, right now, Brockenbrough must be living right because that ball was clearly foul, and the defense gave up on it because it looked as though it was going to continue to go towards the dugout. But look at the English that brings it back into fair play.
I don't know that I've seen one like that. I've seen one roll, but I don't think I've seen one bounce like that.
No, and typically it's because it hits the grass to bring it back in, but no, that one was just straight English off the bat.
Wow.
That was cool. I don't think she tried to do that.
No, I don't think so, but if she did, hats off.
Playing a mean center field and also a nice game of pool.
Now Chanel, who had a fancy play of her own with her glove to end last inning. They both made great defensive plays in the series this weekend. Chanel comes over from Florida Atlantic. She's done a lot of winning in her first 2 years at Florida Atlantic. The American Conference Rookie of the Year a couple years ago. It's a great program. And joining another winning program here at Clemson.
With the graduation of Maddie Moore, they needed somebody up the middle. So when Chanel entered the portal, Coach said that was a player that definitely caught our eye and went after her. She had come to camp when she was in high school at Clemson, but Coach John Rittman said he played against her in 2025, caught their eye again. And so when they saw her name in the portal, it was important for them to be able to pick up a player like her to fill in the gaps that graduation brought.
4 of their 11 newcomers came in the portal, and all 4 of them have been impactful. Played a lot of innings for this team. Maybe none that have been more impactful than their pitcher, Sierra Manis. Right side, and Pavesi is handled for out number 1.
And you're right. I think Manis is probably that key pickup for them in the transfer portal, knowing that they had graduated and lost so much in the circle. So for her to be able to come over from USC Upstate, an important pickup for them in the portal, and she has done a lot for them in the circle so far this year.
Interesting with Virginia Tech, it's all about this offense, one of the top 15 offenses in the country. They got a really good pitching staff as a complement to it. For Clemson, the offensive numbers aren't nearly what they were a year ago. This is a good pitching staff led by Sierra Manis. They've just found different ways to win, and that's just, it's John Rittman's middle name. He is just a winner, over 1,000 wins in his career, as it looks like Clemson is going to run Emma Mazzarone from this game. And that will take us to a 60-second timeout. Mazzarone steps away. The ace, Bree Carrico, enters. We'll be back.
Her fourth start of the season, she did such a masterful job of just playing with these Clemson hitters, keeping the ball away, but also going down in the zone. She racked up 4 strikeouts, also used up in the zone to get the swing and miss. So for Carrico, she comes in to combat what Mazzarone was doing on the other side.
This is her 21st appearance of the season. 17 of those 21 have come in relief. And I mentioned earlier, this is a staff for Virginia Tech. It truly is a staff that Pete Demore said he read a book in the offseason, and one of the big takeaways was, he said, you know, what does Dave Roberts do in the dugout? He's got to manage the pitchers. He's got to manage the pitching staff. And so with the loss of Emma Lemley, their ace, that has been a much different look this year. And so you saw Mazzarone, who's one of really 2 primary starters with Avery Layton, and then Bree Carrico, who got the start yesterday in kind of a rare spot, typically their reliever.
Well, and Carrico is one of the players on this team that was needed to step up. Last season was on the team, but did not pitch. And Coach Pete Demore said about her, you know, when she was throwing high 50s, wasn't really hitting 60 consistently, and just was throwing to our team, and we continued to carve her up, which hurt her confidence, and challenged her over the summer to figure it out, come back ready to go. And he said she came back a different player.
Hard hit ground ball. A run will come across for Clemson, but that's out number 2 to retire Cintron.
I think it's so important for players around the country to understand that freshman year, there's a ton of pressure. Sometimes the growth is like being fed through a fire hose. There's too much to process. There's so much going on, so much change in your life, being away from home perhaps for the first time, and all of those factors go into being successful your freshman year. If you can't get a handle on it, there is no shame in redshirting or giving yourself time to grow and settle into your new home. And that's exactly what Carrico was given an opportunity to do, and this year has been able to shine.
Now faces Marion Collins, who did go around for strike 1. 1-1 count to Collins, the sophomore from Marietta, Georgia. It was a home run shy of the cycle in their midweek win over Gardner-Webb. Outside corner, great location for strike 2.
Just so important to paint corners. You're going to see mid-60s in terms of her velocity. And as she comes in, moves the ball well up and down, works in her changeup, commands both sides of the plate. And that's the growth that was needed for her to come back in her sophomore year and be successful.
Big swing and a miss from Collins. Carrico comes in. 1 run gets in, but retires both batters she faces.
So important to have Carrico come in and just set batters down. Amazing strikeout to go up in the zone, get the nice swing and miss. First strikeout of the game in relief for Bree Carrico.
Of series finales next weekend, 12th ranked Virginia Tech takes on rival Virginia, who come in ranked 17th at 4 Eastern, and then right after that one, 6 Eastern, NC State hosts Cal in Raleigh. Both are right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app.
So impressed with the way Virginia showed up this year. They are nationally ranked, able to step in. I think it's the best year that Joanna Harden has had at Virginia, 31-6 this year. And they will host the ACC tournament at the end of the season.
Nora Abramovich, the 3 spot for Virginia Tech, leads off this bottom of the 5th in a very close game. Into right center field toward the scoreboard, and does sneak over the wall. She had homered in 3 of the last 4 games entering this series, and she does it again in this one.
12th home run of the year. It ties her back up with Jordan Lynch. Both of them sit at the top of the home run game for Virginia Tech. And when you look at the way that she sits back on this pitch, that high leg kick helps her get into her hip, allows her to get her timing, collects it, drives it over the wall, 79.6 miles an hour exit velocity off the bat. Coach DeMoore said anything over about 75 miles an hour with the right launch angle gets it out of the ballpark.
Quick response, and because of that, Sierra Manis will exit this game. In her place will be the Game 2 starter, Abby Dunning. Virginia Tech up 3. Bottom of the 5th, nobody out will step away for the pitching change. Basically like a brand new inning for Abby Dunning, the graduate from Chicago, Illinois, very familiar with the ACC, transferred from Boston College after 4 years there. She was the Game 2 starter, though, only went 2 1/3 and gave up 5 earned against this Virginia Tech lineup.
It's all about the free passes. She had 3 walks in those 2 1/3 innings, and I think free passes is what has hurt her this season as she takes the circle in relief of Sierra Manis.
Was inside and gets that foul down the left field line to make it 0-2 to Zoe Yeager, the first batter she will face. Yeager 0 for 2 off Manis tonight. So she's probably happy to see her gone. Yeager 2 for 8 in the series. That one gets away from Dunning.
And when you watch a pitcher relieve the starter, you want them to come in and absolutely nail their spots. They've had time to prepare in the bullpen. They've been able to figure out what is going to be needed when they enter the game. So that pitch that gets away from Dunning, a little unexpected for a veteran.
Up and in, 2-2, and you're right, she has thrown a ton of innings in her career. She had back-to-back years with a sub-3 ERA in 2023 and 2024 in 340 innings pitched those 2 years. Ground ball left side, backhanded, a casual throw across the diamond for Bro, who's having a great weekend.
So calm and collected over there on the hot corner. She acted like that was no big deal, but that is a long throw all the way across the diamond. The freshman playing the hot corner well.
Four assists in their Game 1 win on Thursday night. Inside ball 1, this is Michelle Chatfield, 2 RBI single back in the first inning. Four more extra base hits in Game 3 so far for Virginia Tech. They had just 1 in Game 1, then 5 last night, a couple of them home runs. 4 tonight, 3 of them home runs, as that is pulled just a little foul.
Well, and with the screwball being one of Manis's really good pitches, it's going to ride in on those right-handed hitters, and that's a good spot to throw Chatfield. It's hard to keep a barrel inside that pitch to try to keep it fair, because if a screwball sits flat, she's going to take this ball deep for sure. It's unique the way that Dunning and Manis come at these hitters differently, because Dunning is going to stay up in the zone with a screw curve and rise. That change up a little bit more inconsistent. You're not going to see the ball down very often. She'll only throw it when she's ahead. So she'll challenge hitters on the inside part of the plate with that screwball. Confidently goes there, but so far has not been able to throw that consistently for a strike.
Walks Chatfield with 1 away. Now Kylie Aldridge. Just the second walk in the game for Virginia Tech. The other was to their 3rd batter back in the bottom of the 1st, Abramovich. Strike 1 to Aldridge.
Well, Manis settled in very quickly. She did give up the double, a free pass with hitting a batter and then a walk, but then settled in, got a lot of ground balls, but the ball did leave the yard on some of her misses. And I think that's where Dunning has to be careful. She is a pitcher that throws up in the zone. Well, Kylie Aldridge has power. Almost hit it out here earlier tonight. It was a sac fly deep to center field. But you've got to make sure that you make this ball wiggle, or it's going to sit flat and be vulnerable to be a home run.
Falls behind 2-1 now to Aldridge. Athletic family. Mom played softball in college. Dad played tennis. Both of them at what was then Pembroke State, now the University of North Carolina at Pembroke.
And Aldridge is such an important hitter in this lineup. She sits down here just below the middle of the lineup, but she's a solid 4 for 5 coming into today with 2 extra base hits.
15 multi-hit games. One of those in yesterday's win. 3-2. This is ripped. Straightaway center, and it's gone. Aldridge got every bit of that ball, and her second home run in as many days.
I think Bomb Fridays is paying off because these Hokies are figuring it out against Clemson. Aldridge's 5th home run of the year, and it's a ball left belt high. That is a pitch you've got to elevate. You cannot leave a ball middle belt high and expect it to stay in the ballpark. So that is a miss by Dunning. And with the hands up, she said, let's go. Because now the Hokies are rolling.
Their 4th home run tonight, their 6th in the series, and their 70th as a team this year. Aldridge is raking 5 for 7, 4 RBIs this weekend against this Clemson pitching staff.
And Chucky, when you think about the way that these Hokies continue to hit the ball out of the park, they're on pace to beat their numbers last year. They hit 112 home runs a season ago. But with 4 dingers in this one, they sit themselves at 70 home runs on the year with a bunch of seasons still left to go.
Just top to bottom, they can swing it. They had 7 qualified hitters enter the series hitting .375 or better. 7 players had at least 5 home runs. There's just nowhere to hide from the one swing damage.
And I think that's what's hard for a pitcher. When you are an up ball pitcher, the way that Dunning is, and you're facing a team that is hitting like that, you've got to make sure that your ball is moving, because if you're just hitting spots, you're basically throwing batting practice.
And those are national ranks, not ACC, that you see all those top 10 numbers in. Average about 8 runs per game. Nine tonight on just 8 hits so far. That is ball 4 to Gabby Mizell.
But to the point we've made previously, when you are an up ball pitcher, you cannot miss in the strike zone, which is why I think we're going to see a pitching change here.
I also have some defensive changes by the look of it, and we'll see exactly what they're going to do. This looks like it's going to be a rare pitching appearance for Macy Cintron. And we will talk more about that when we come back. Tough spot, 1 out, 1 on, down 5. Here is last year's ACC Freshman of the Year, Macy Cintron, who has thrown all of 1 inning this year, gave up 2 hits and 4 earned. This is her 4th appearance, but she was their 3rd most used arm last year and was effective.
And had a knee injury in the fall. I think it impacted her growth in the circle, but is a tremendous utility player for the Tigers. Her bat is needed in the lineup, but now they make the call to go to her in the circle.
It's just an interesting development down the season for Clemson, because outside of Manis and Dunning, then it drops off to Crosby, who's thrown about 31, 32 innings on the year, and then all the way down to Lexi Hames, who's thrown under 20 on the season. They're really looking for that 3rd arm to kind of emerge right now.
I think they were planning on that being Cintron this season. But with the knee injury in the fall, it really hindered how they were able to develop her coming into this season. So with that knee injury, still able to throw or hit well, but I think that development, or that lack of development, prevented her from being a go-to force in the circle for them this year, after being such an important part of the puzzle for them a season ago.
2-2 count. First batter she faces is the second baseman, Rachel Castine. This is fouled away, still 2-2. Castine entered the weekend hitting .636 with a couple home runs and 13 RBIs in ACC play. Has to wait on this and fights it off.
Well, going to Cintron, you know what you're going to get. You're going to see that upper 60s, but she's a rise and a drop ball pitcher. So you have to, as a hitter, attack different planes, which makes it difficult. And her change of speed is something she will use in any count.
Runner goes. The throw is not quite there. Good jump for Gabby Mazzell over at first base.
Well, just so much speed on the base pass. That's her 10th stolen base on the year, and with a high tag is able to just get the toe in time.
And Castine draws a walk.
Yeah, free passes are the piece that Clemson has to figure out. It's the free passes that turn solo shots into multi-run home runs, and with hitters like what Virginia Tech brings to the plate, you have to make sure that you limit the damage when you make a mistake in the circle. But so far, free passes have loaded things up, or loaded up the runners to be able to take some treks around the bases with the long ball. It's important to keep it down, but now putting more speed on the base pass for Virginia Tech.
Sarah McNally will take her place over at first base. Mazzell is at second base, and now all of a sudden the winning run is at the plate with just one out here in the 5th in the form of Hanukkah Rose, who hit a solo home run her last time up.
And with that ball getting away from Hicks back behind the dish, you saw some aggressive leads by the runner out there at second base, Mazzell.
Down the first base line, off the glove of the first baseman, Pavesi, and it loads the bases.
And that's the way that Annika Rose continues to impress me. She doesn't always swing for the fences. She takes what's given her, doesn't try to do too much. That home run in her last at bat, her first home run of the year, and then goes right back to what she's good at. Blistering the ball on the ground and pushing the bases full.
And now it's Addison Foster with the bases loaded as she takes strike one. Tremendous transfer from Stetson, who is man center field for Virginia Tech. Played shortstop, 2-year starter at shortstop at Stetson. This is a little check swing. This might be perfect, and it is in fair territory. Everybody advances a base as she's got an RBI on the bloop to left. It's that kind of night right now for Virginia Tech.
An excuse me swing by Addison Foster. Bases juiced. A seeing eye ball finds the grass, and over there at third base, it was difficult for Mizell to figure out how to play that. Do I tag up? Do I take off? Right now, everything going Virginia Tech's way.
Another little half-hearted swing. This time, they do get the force at the plate for out number 2. A couple awkward ones there for Foster and Lynch back-to-back, but Foster more fortunate.
It's a difference between a check swing on a drop ball and check swing on a rise ball. Ball up, ball takes off, ball down, it's right in the ground.
Inside ball 1 to Nora Abramovich, who started this inning off with a solo home run. That hits the corner outside. In there for strike 2 to Abramovich. Has reached every time tonight. Walk, a single, and a solo shot. Swing and a miss. Cintron closes the door with the bases loaded, and Clemson survives to the 6th inning. But they trail big. 10-4 after 5. It's been all about the long ball for the Hokies tonight.
ACC Softball is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
What a night at the ballpark. The Huskies supporting the Hokies and all the other breeds of dog. This is like the best night for a dog at the ballpark, because usually you bring them out, it's 90 degrees in the middle of May or June, and this is great. Little breeze in their face. First pitch swinging and an out to start the inning in the circle for Carrico.
And to be able to come out on a beautiful night like this, we're seeing the stands are packed. The softball's been great if you're a Hokie fan. And so I don't know that you could picture a better night in Blacksburg.
One away, Noller flied out on the first pitch from Carrico. Now Corey Hicks, the sophomore catcher who transferred from Oklahoma, played 24 games for Patty Gasso a year ago. Had just 6 hits, 3 of them were home runs, and she is the leader in home runs this year for Clemson.
And while she does swing a really big stick, she's still gaining consistency in the box. The way she only had 23 at-bats a season ago, and with that, her average sits just above the Mendoza line.
Sister Jamie plays at Fresno State. She's having a career year, hitting 370. Her mom played at West Valley Junior College. Her dad, Julius, played basketball at West Valley and at Oregon. So no pressure to play in college if you're the little sister.
Well, and as she comes onto this campus at Clemson, they did need to make some swing adjustments to her. And Coach Rittman says when she's relaxed, she plays so well. But right now, pressure can sometimes creep in and make her a little streaky.
That's one of the things John Rittman told you in our call this week with him. He asked about expectations for this team, and he said, look, the standard has been set at this program. The level of expectation is very high at Clemson, but for a young team, that can sometimes carry some extra weight and pressure on your shoulders. It's still a team that's 25-14 right now.
And while they have a lot of players that have played before, they still have lessons to learn because they haven't maybe been everyday starters. So while Corey Hicks steps in as a sophomore, she's still learning those lessons typically learned in your first year as an everyday starter.
Good at bat here to start off the 6th inning for Clemson. Here's what they've done so far. RPI in the top 25. Have 4 wins over top 25 teams in the RPI. Their strength of schedule through the roof. Hicks to left field, and it goes off the foul pole. Corey Hicks, for the 7th time this season, leaves the yard.
And that's the kind of power potential that they know Corey Hicks can bring to the plate every single time. I think it's home run number 8, Chucky, for Hicks on the season. And when you think about the power that she swings with, that ball was not middle. That ball was a little bit outside, but the power that she was able to whip around with that barrel right off the foul pole, no doubt, big home run. But they're solo shots. That's the difference, I think, at times for Clemson. They're not getting runners on to make a bigger impact with those big hits.
Was 0 for 4 in the series before that swing. Took me a second because it went off kind of the outside of the foul pole, so it just ricocheted straight left.
But the good news is you can't dispute it. It definitely hit the foul pole. It is 100% a home run.
Now Sarah Bro takes. Carrico and the fans here in Blacksburg wanted a strike. You see Manis congratulating Hicks and other teammates in the dugout. Bro swings through that pitch. Looked like it fooled her a little.
Well, and on the last pitch, the umpire called it a ball, but the other 1,000 umpires sitting in the stands were upset that it wasn't called. That one, less of a strike, but gets the swing.
2-2.
Being able to extend off the plate is how you find success in the circle, especially as a reliever coming in, throwing a little bit of a different arsenal to these Clemson hitters.
Clemson responded in the 2nd inning after Virginia Tech scored 3 right out of the gates with 2 of their own. A little bit of a drought there in the 3rd and 4th, but got 2 more in the 5th and now 1 here in the 6th. This is hit well into center field. Long run and a diving attempt from Foster comes up empty. Bro is into second base still with just 1 out.
While I love effort in the outfield, you don't dive for a ball like that straight up the middle. That is an easy, keep it in front, keep her at first base. So by diving at that ball, that's exactly the error that can happen. It's not going to go down as an error. She doesn't even touch it, but with the bounce over her head, it allows the ball to trickle away and a base advancement to put Clemson in scoring position.
Bro was 0 for 6 last weekend against Florida State. She's having an excellent weekend here in Blacksburg. Kennedy Ariel will run for her at second base. And now Pipkins, who has already homered in this game and had a homer in game 2 as well.
With the depth of the rosters, I love the way that coaches around the country continue to use the talent that sits on the bench, even if it is in running situations.
The rosters weren't this big when you were playing, right?
No, they were not. We won national championships with 14 people on the roster.
Easier to learn your teammates' names.
Well, it's also easier to keep a team happy because when you've got that much talent sitting on a bench, it can be difficult at times for coaches to find opportunities to play everybody in really solid roles. And with that, the transfer portal explodes at the end of every year.
Here is the junior aerial at second base. 1-2 count here to Pipkins. 2-2. Left side scooped up by Lynch, and there's 2 outs.
Solid defense is something that Virginia Tech is known for, and that left side of the infield, veterans able to come away with a lot of outs, especially with the balls on the ground.
.974 fielding percentage as a team entering the weekend. And this is ball 1 from Carrico. Top of the order, Jamison Brockenbrough had a bunt single her last trip to the plate. This is her first look at Carrico tonight. Ripped into right field, nearly right at Mazzell. They get 1 back thanks to Corey Hicks bouncing one off the foul pole. Virginia Tech, though, still up 5. Those bats coming back to the plate next. Presented by Auto Owners Insurance. See some clouds in the distance. There are some rain showers forecasted, minor tonight and a little bit tomorrow morning. But we missed it. No weather issues this weekend.
As long as it holds off until the end of this game, I will claim announcer jinx because you said the 4-letter word rain while we were playing.
Virginia Tech 30-0 when leading after the 6th inning. This is the bottom of the 6th with a 5-run lead. They very nearly ended it in the 5th inning. They had the winning run on second and the bases loaded. It was a nice job by Macy Cintron in just her 4th pitching appearance of the year to get out of a jam. 0-2 count to Zoe Yeager.
And by seeing Cintron in the circle, it makes me hopeful that we will see more of her this season. We have only seen her for 1 inning coming into this point of the season.
In the left and foul.
I did hear before the game, if you return a foul ball, you get a coupon for a free slice of pizza. So it's getting late. Chucky, you might need to go get a foul ball if you need free dinner.
Is it those massive slices of pizza that I
Those
saw
things
too?
were huge. I think he's asking for 2 slices. He needs two different pieces of paper, 2 coupons.
Bro handles the ground ball to retire Yeager.
Impressed by the freshman over there at third. Oh, he's still got the ball. He's negotiating for more than 1 coupon, I think.
He said, listen, I already ate. Popped up foul territory and caught over there by Pavesi. He said, I want to make the lineup card for the next game. And I want the pizza. And I want to take BP with the team.
Wow, big asks. I think I'd allow him to have the ball too at that point.
Bounced in by Cintron. Ball 1. Go ahead, Jenny.
Okay, so I'm going to just say that I'm seeing raindrops on our window, and it's your fault.
I was just simply stating that there were showers in the area.
Yeah, well, you didn't need to bring them our way because the wind is picking up and the rain is starting to fall.
Just a nice mist.
As long
ball 3.
as the nice mist doesn't postpone play, I'll be okay with it. But getting a grip as a pitcher is super important, especially when you face a hitter like Aldridge, who went yard in her last at bat.
That actually went down as a strike. This is ripped into center, and running onto it is Brockenbrough for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for Cintron. Last chance for Clemson. They are down 5. It's 2-3-4 coming up for the Tigers. Got here 10-5 Virginia Tech, 10 hits to 6 for the Hokies, and Clemson probably would have felt pretty good if they'd have known Bro, Pipkins, and Hicks were all going to homer. They still find themselves trailing by 5 because the Hokies have hit 4 home runs of their own. Mazzarone got the start, gave up 3 earned, and now it is Carrico to try and close the door.
If Clemson could have eliminated the 5th inning, this game is a 1-run ball game, but it was the crooked number in the 5th that just pushed this game almost out of reach.
Virginia Tech scored in 4 of the 6 innings they came to the plate. This crowd was asking for a strike on that last pitch to Kylie Chanel, the shortstop. She has walked twice and she's popped out once.
And they're starting to be a little bit upset back here behind home plate on the strike zone that's getting called tonight.
This is skied into, it's actually going to stay on the infield. It looked for a moment like that was shallow right center, but it's right at Castine for out number 1.
The wind is definitely having an impact on the balls in the air tonight, because I think you're right. That ball was headed toward right center, but wind pushed it back for a little pop-up to the second baseman.
Very similar wind to yesterday, which is basically from the right pole, right field foul pole, almost straight across. So if you hit it to left field, you get a little boost. If you hit it to right field, good luck.
And that was what Coach DeMore said about that shot to center that was kept in the ballpark by the wind the other night. You've got to make sure that you hit it into the jet stream. Left field is where the ball's going to leave the park the easiest.
Pavesi swings through it, strike 2.
One for Clemson right now, you've got to make sure that you're just passing the bat. With a 5-run deficit, you cannot win the ball game with one swing. So stringing base hits together is the mentality that these hitters need to be at the plate with.
Outside ball 1. Not necessarily a high leverage situation for Carrico in this game, but she's been in some of them. 3 saves this year in that relief role, both middle and short relief. This has popped up. It will stay on the infield as well, and you see it pushing it back toward the pitcher's circle. It's caught by Rose, 2 outs.
Your job as a defender, when you know that the wind is in play and you get a high pop-up like that, you have to keep your feet moving. You cannot plant yourself in the ground and expect to pull in that fly ball. You have to keep your feet moving, track it, and pull it in.
After dropping game 1 on Thursday, Virginia Tech figured out the offense in games 2 and 3. 9 runs yesterday, 10 runs tonight, and they are 1 out away from a series win over Clemson.
Virginia Tech has out-hit their opponents in 36 of 38 games this season. They have found a way to completely stymie the way that the pitch is coming out of the circle. But kudos to Clemson for finding a way to get a win in game 1.
One to Cintron. 2-1. One of the bright spots of the night will be Macy Cintron in the circle for Clemson. And there'll be a lot of eyes on the next few games for the Tigers to see if she sees more time in the circle. They go to Pitt next weekend, so they'll stay on the road. And they'll host South Carolina. They'll host Virginia. They'll finish the regular season at Duke. We'll have a couple of those games, the 24th through the 26th in Durham. Crowd ready, 2-2 count, 2 outs. Popped up and into the stands.
And if Clemson is able to use Cintron in the circle, I think that's going to be a difference maker for them. They had the 15th toughest schedule in the country, and a young squad has taken their lumps early, but they're learning those lessons to pay off later.
3-2. For Virginia Tech, they are 5 straight on the road after this, not too far. At Radford, 3 at Virginia next weekend, and then at Liberty before coming back here for a 3-game series against Georgia Tech on April 17th. Another foul ball from Cintron. Pitch number 8 of the at-bat. That's a walk. Cintron not going down easily.
Veteran move by Cintron to be able to stand in there, foul off pitches, just a sophomore, but I think it's going to be really important for Clemson to capitalize on the impact that a healthy Cintron will be able to make in their lineup. Not only is she able to swing a big stick and be patient at the plate to draw her walks, but they're going to need her in the circle the second half of this season.
Marion Collins takes strike one from Carrico. She is 1 for 6 in the series, 0 for 3 tonight. Fouls that straight back, strike two. And again, Clemson down to their final strike. Carrico's delivery up and in, almost got Collins.
You don't have to get out of the way of a ball that rides into the batter's box like that. She could have worn that pitch and taken first base, but as the highest average on this team, it's important for her to put a barrel on this ball.
1-2, slow roller left side, scooped up by Lynch, and that'll do it. Win number 33 of the season for Virginia Tech as they take 2 of 3 from Clemson.
So important for Virginia Tech to continue to swing hot bats. Clemson able to spoil the series sweep with the Game 1 win, but Virginia Tech finding their bats in games 2 and 3 comes away with another big win and series win for them this season.
19 runs in the final 2 games of this series for the Hokies. One of the best offenses in the country, figured it out, but the Tigers do not go home empty-handed. They picked up their 25th win just a few nights ago. For our entire crew, Evan Ellis, our producer, Isaac Poe, our director, my partner, Jenny Dalton-Hill, I am Chucky Kemp. We thank you for joining us, and so long from Blacksburg. Jason Spells and Brittany McKinney in the ACC Network studio. You're coming up next.